One of the common myths I hear about residency in Mexico is that if you get residency here in Mexico, you have to live here full time or you risk losing it. That's not exactly true, and Mexico can actually be a great place for a back pocket residency that you can have without needing to maintain consistent physical presence in the country if you pay attention to a few key details. In this video, we're going to be breaking down how long you actually need to stay in Mexico to qualify for and keep your residency, whether you're temporary or a permanent resident. Hi, I'm Justin Keltner, and here on Entrepreneur Expat, we talk about moving overseas, building a life and business in a country that is not necessarily where you were born, as well as financial strategies and business strategies and tax strategies to help you navigate the entire process. Of course, this is not legal advice or financial advice. Consult your professional, but we do have free consults available to those with $1 million or more in net worth, where we do connect you with all of the top legal and real estate and immigration professionals all over the world to help you make your dream of moving abroad a reality. You can find that at entrepreneurexpat.com/consult, and make sure you subscribe to this video if you're interested in more content like this, and check out all the free resources down below as well, including the Moving to Mexico guide, where we lay out the entire process of how to move here. That's available completely free below this video for those of you that maybe don't qualify or aren't ready for those relocation services. First, let's discuss a little bit how long you actually need to stay for to get your visa, and I'll give you this from the perspective of the clients that we work with every single week here, who we bring down to Mexico and help them get their temporary residency. So you can typically apply for temporary or permanent residency through a Mexican consulate abroad. You don't actually need to live here in Mexico, and in fact, in most cases, you can't apply for temporary residency as a foreigner from within Mexico, other than a few edge cases, like where you've got a very close family member that's Mexican and you can basically join them in the country through different types of visa processes. But we don't do too much of that. Most of the people that we work with are applying through income or through assets, so they're going to do that at the consulate abroad. Now, of course, approval depends on your financials, either your income or your savings, not how long that you've actually been in Mexico. Once you're approved for that visa, you typically have 180 days to enter Mexico and complete that residency process. So you're going to spend typically at least a few weeks in Mexico, making sure that you finalize everything. You've got an immigration appointment, perhaps a follow-up appointment if they don't have the card, or they're delayed for some reason, or they're just really busy because so many people are coming down here. At those appointments, you're going to get your fingerprints taken, you're going to get your photo taken, they're going to get your signature to print on the card, and then sometimes that day or other times a few days later, they're going to call you back in so that you can actually pick that card up. Now, after that, you can actually come and go as you please, but there is one caveat, which is you've got to make sure that you are in Mexico to handle your renewals. Now, there's a little bit of a grace period for that in a lot of cases, like within around 30 days, but you got to make sure that if you get temporary residence, they will typically give that to you for a year at first. Then you go back to immigration after that year when it's about to expire. They'll give you that for another 3 years, and then once those 3 years are up, generally you can convert that temporary residence to permanent residence. The cool thing is Mexico does not require you to spend a certain number of days in the country each year. You just show up for those renewals, you're pretty much good to go. You can live here full-time, part-time, or just visit occasionally, as long as you renew before your card expires. Now, who knows if this is going to be applicable 3 or 5 or 10 years from now. This is how things are now, which is another reason that I encourage you, if you have been thinking about relocating to Mexico or really anywhere else, that you book that call with our team so that we can help assess your unique situation and actually advise you on the process. Make sure you get in line as soon as possible to get that consulate appointment, to get that residency card, whether it's for Mexico or somewhere else, because they're always changing the rules, they're changing the requirements. So you want to make sure that you secure yours before things change again. If you are planning on being gone for long stretches of time, then you're going to want to track those expiration dates of your cards very carefully. You must be physically present in Mexico to renew the card, so make sure that you plan your travel accordingly. Now we're going to jump into when you can actually qualify for permanent residency and the details of that. So like I mentioned earlier, you do need to have 4 years of temporary residency, and at that point, you can apply for permanent residency. In some cases, you can apply for permanent residency right away, but since this last year, they've actually been only making that direct to permanent residency route available to people that are already retired. That means you're in your 60s at least, and you're already receiving a pension of some type, and that you're not working anymore. That's a very important detail. So when you do have permanent residency, either because you get it right away through being retired and having at least $300,000 in the bank as of this year, or around $7,200 per month in a pension, you don't need to worry about renewal. Or of course, if you did those 4 years of temporary residence, you renew that, you change it to permanent, and then you no longer have to renew that permanent residency card. You can still live part-time in Mexico, you can still live abroad. There's really no formal requirement to spend a number of days each year in Mexico. Now, there is another little caveat, because being gone for too long can raise questions if you're trying to apply for naturalization later. The citizenship in Mexico does require actual presence. So it's not a lot, typically, at least as of today. What they're asking for is 6 months of total time in Mexico. You want to make sure you document this. You want to make sure you get your passport actually stamped whenever you're going to leave the country, if you're holding that temporary or even permanent resident card, so that they know how long you've been in the country. If you just fly, let's say, to a border town and then cross back to the US, but without getting your passport stamped, then they have no way of actually knowing how long you've been in Mexico. So you've got to be in Mexico for 6 months out of 2 years, which averages out to about 3 months per year, or it could just be 6 months in 1 year, of those 2 years prior to applying for citizenship. So like I said, that's 3 months in year 1, 3 months in year 2, before you apply for that Mexican passport. And you need a minimum of 5 years of total legal documented residence, regardless of the amount of time in those 5 years that you're in the country, other than the last 2 years before you apply for the passport. If you have questions, of course, feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to book that call so that we can answer all of your specific questions and some of the personal details and nuance that perhaps we can't get into too much detail on in this video. So there are a few times where you also can lose your residency. So we alluded to this earlier, but if you let your temporary resident card expire without renewing it in time, you're going to have to start the process over from the beginning. You can also lose your temporary residence, or even permanent in some cases, if you go through the wrong entry points when you're coming into the country. So they have these new e-gates as an example, where you can scan your passport in electronically as a tourist, and you'll be able to enter a little bit quicker than if you were to wait in line at the immigration kiosks there when you're actually entering. That's a problem if you have a residency card. In fact, fortunately, this has never happened for any of our clients, because we advise them in detail exactly what they need to do to get, and then also to keep that residency so they don't have any issues. But we have facilitators we've worked with where they've had people in the past that went through those electronic gates, not once, not twice, 3 times, and she had to fix that issue. The first 2 times she was able to fix it. The 3rd time, the government said, you know what, you're going to lose your residency. We just don't have any more patience for you. And there's no guarantee that they'll even give you 2 or 3 shots of doing something like that wrong before you will lose your residency card, have to start over from scratch, and potentially have to meet even higher thresholds for proving that you are qualified to get that residency. Now, if you leave Mexico for more than 180 days, after your card expires, you lose your legal status. Less than that, there's sometimes ways that you can fix it, but you want to make sure that you are very careful about those renewal dates. Now, permanent residents rarely lose their visa unless they violate Mexican law or voluntarily renounce it. Again, be careful still not to go through those e-gates, because that can definitely complicate things. But once you're permanent, you're definitely a lot more safe. Amanda and I are going to have our permanent residence and then Mexican passports in just the next couple of years here. So we're pretty excited about that. And just be aware, though, some local immigration offices might interpret continuous residence differently if applying for citizenship, especially. So make sure you book that call with our team so that we can talk about your unique situation and make sure that this would be a good residence for you, either to actually live here, to live here part-time, or even just to have that plan B in your back pocket that you can later convert to a Mexican passport, which is actually ranked quite well. There's hundreds of visa-free countries that you can go to with that Mexican passport. So that's pretty exciting. Now, here are some strategic tips for part-time residents. You want to keep your documents up to date. Make sure you're renewing them before you're planning on traveling. So that might be renewing your US passport if you're a US citizen, or your Canadian passport. You want to also maintain proofs of residence. So your lease or your utility bills for things like opening bank accounts and for renewals, because a lot of the time immigration will ask for a proof of address in Mexico when you are renewing one of those cards. You also might consider getting a Mexican tax ID or RFC number, as well as a bank account, even if you're here part-time, because it shows stronger ties in case that they do make the citizenship process difficult later. And if your goal is eventual citizenship, then you want to plan to spend more time in the country each year, and especially in those 2 years prior to applying for your citizenship. So at the end of the day, you really don't have to live in Mexico full time to get or keep your residency, but definitely plan to plan ahead and make sure you know how renewals work, how timelines work, and how that's going to affect your travel plans. And if you are somebody that's got $1 million or more in net worth, you're looking to understand this visa strategy better, you want to get some personalized assistance from our team on your relocation, whether you're looking to come part-time, full-time, or just start the process, then apply for that free consultation at entrepreneurexpat.com/consult. And if you're not quite there yet, then check out all of our free guides, including our free Mexico relocation guide at entrepreneurexpat.com/Mexico. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again on the next one.